Hi guys, it's Cricket coming to you for day number 5 of National Endometriosis Awareness Month. I thank you to all of you who have joined us, who have shared our videos, our articles. We appreciate it more than we can say. Today, I come to you complete with my most festive earrings to talk about subjects that have been taboo for many generations. Generations of women have been reticent to discuss these things, in some cases, even with other women. I think the stigma associated with gynecological disorders or even our organs is part of the reason many women are diagnosed so late and have such progressed disease. So today I speak out for a new generation of women. I talk to endo warriors nearly on a daily basis, taking calls and helping provide encouragement and knowledge to help women deal with this really difficult disease. And they often say to me, well, I don't know if I should say this. I say to them, honey, to me, an ovary is like an elbow by this point. Nothing you say will embarrass me. We can talk about this freely. So I will talk to you today freely in a, I hope, well-educated way, and I hope it's informative to you. Today's topic is fertility. Now, there are many crossovers in this discussion, so I will try to stay on topic as best I can. First of all, let me say, I am not a doctor. I urge everyone to be their own advocate in their own healthcare. I do not recommend any surgeons or surgeries or publicly endorse or condemn any medication or treatment. Every woman's disease is individual. Every woman. So I could not speak what would be the best treatment for you. I can privately give you advice based on the medical research I have done. But I am not a doctor. I am not saying what you need to do or what you need to take. That being said, first of all, let me say, pregnancy is not a cure for endometriosis. There are many myths that persist about endometriosis. Pregnancy as a cure is one of them. Although pregnancy in some cases can repress hormones that increase symptoms for endometriosis, it is not a cure. It can put endometriosis into remission or reduce symptoms temporarily. It is not a cure. Birth control is not a cure for endometriosis. There is currently no known cause or cure for endometriosis. So while some medications do help some women to suppress symptoms and go about their daily lives in a more pain-free way, for other women, it makes the condition worse. There are many medications available for endometriosis and for birth control. You have to talk to your doctor and find out what is the best option for you. In my case, some medications made my symptoms worse because every woman's body is different and every medication uses different levels of hormones. It's impossible to say what your outcome would be unless you try the drug or you talk to your doctor. The biggest myth, I think, maybe surrounding endometriosis is that hysterectomy is a cure. Even a hysterectomy is not a cure for endometriosis. In the Oxford University study, according to a Human Reproduction Update from 2009, March 11, 2009, the research says that there is an 85% reoperation rate after hysterectomy with ovarian conservation. That means keeping our ovaries carries a very high probability, 85%, that we will need additional surgeries. And with women who undergo hysterectomies that remove ovaries, they experience a 10% reoperation rate, which means even if you opt for a hysterectomy that removes your ovaries, you have a 10% chance or rate that you will need further surgeries. In addition to removing our ovaries and it not being a cure, it causes us to be at an increased risk for things like heart disease and osteoporosis. There are risks associated with all of the surgeries we undergo for endometriosis. Also, sometimes fertility drugs or treatments for pregnancy can increase symptoms and growth of endometriosis. In my own personal situation, when I began to look at the drugs that were recommended for my fertility treatments, I found that in my case, because I had an endometrioma, a fairly large endometrioma on my right ovary, and I had enlarged ovaries, both of them, the fertility drugs they were suggesting that I take carried a very high risk for me that one or both of my ovaries could rupture. So, faced with these devastating, difficult decisions, it is very, very complicated. The surgeries we need carry risks. They are not a cure. And while they may help us get back to our daily lives and have a semblance of, we hope, a social life or the ability to even grocery shop or do daily activities that women take for granted, many women take for granted, we face very difficult decisions. I have spent thousands of hours reading the research to make sure I could advocate for my own health care in the best and most responsible way. The important thing to remember in all of this, even though it is a difficult topic and many of these things women are reticent to speak up, even with other women, I speak up because I want my kids, I want my girls to grow up in a society where they can talk about reproductive issues, they can talk about endometriosis. And number one, people will know what they're talking about. They will have heard of the disease. And I also want them to know they don't have to be embarrassed about these topics. It is a disease. It is the most common gynecological disorder or disease. 1 in 10 women, a combined total of 176 million women, it is estimated, worldwide, suffer from this condition. So I want them to be brave. I want them to see me being brave. I want us to destigmatize this whole topic. And so that's the reason for my festive earrings today. I also want to leave you with one thought. So even if surgery or disease takes your ability to birth your own child, I want you to remember that nothing, no disease, no circumstance can take your ability to nurture or mother a child. So I leave you with that positive thought that we can be empowered to be our own advocate, to speak about subjects that previously women have not spoken about. And we can be brave. Together, we are much stronger than we are apart. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And I hope you have a lovely day. Today is day number 5 of National Endometriosis Awareness Month. I am Cricket, and I'm an Endo Warrior.